The Isekai season is upon us, and that means it's time to dive into new worlds just waiting to be explored. We're not just talking about your typical overpowered heroes anymore. The genre is evolving with darker stories and surprising consequences that keep us on the edge of our seats. With 2024 bringing a group therapy session for those who got isekai'd a bit too hard, it's time to grab your survival guide because we're diving into the wildest, most exciting new isekai shows hitting the scene. Number 8, Loner Life in Another World. This anime ditches the hero complex and throws us into the shoes of Haruka, a high school loner who gets summoned to another world alongside his entire class. Unlike his classmates who fantasize about epic quests and legendary powers, Haruka's just not that interested. He'd rather live a quiet life, thank you very much, but fate, or perhaps the summoning deity's questionable taste, has other plans. Haruka ends up with a power that's, well, underwhelming, to say the least. Instead of fireballs or swordsmanship, he gets stuck with something rather peculiar. Now, Haruka must use his wits, a dash of sarcasm, and whatever his unusual ability throws his way. Will he embrace this new life and forge his own path, or will he find a way to sneak back to his quiet corner in the human world? One thing's for sure, Haruka's unique approach to surviving in another world promises a hilarious and offbeat adventure. Number 7, Rikaiku. I'll become a villainess that will go down in history. Otome games are your jam, right? Every night you strategize, aiming for the perfect ending with your favorite virtual prince. But fate has something else in store for you, something much more entertaining. Instead of the heroine, you become Alicia, the notorious villainess of your favorite game. Now, with the knowledge of the game and the freedom to rewrite your destiny, you set out to become the most legendary baddie ever. Except things aren't quite as planned. The prince, who's supposed to hate your guts, seems strangely fascinated by your, well, interesting brand of evil. So you're setting yourself up for failure as you try to be the ultimate villainess, only to find the prince inexplicably charmed by your chaotic ways. It's a rom-com adventure where the lines between good and bad are hilariously blurred, and being a villainess might just be the key to winning the prince's heart. Number 6, Someday Will I Be the Greatest Alchemist. Takumi Iruma was a regular office worker who got yoinked to another world, but Takumi is a special kind of MC. He'd much rather avoid all the fighting and just chill. So, when a goddess grants him a wish as an apology for the mix-up, Takumi opts for a seemingly ordinary skill, alchemy. Little does he know, alchemy in this world is the ultimate cheat code. With his newfound power to create anything from legendary weapons to flying ships, Takumi could easily become a powerful warrior. But nope, not his style. Instead, he uses his alchemy skills to become a wealthy merchant and, maybe even more importantly, avoid any unnecessary battles. Of course, adventure seems to find Takumi anyway. Now he's exploring this world, meeting quirky characters, and maybe, just maybe, becoming the greatest alchemist after all, even if that wasn't exactly his plan. Number 5, Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells. Isekai? Check. Background character? Absolutely. Toka's got the whole summon to another world spiel down, but unlike the rest, he gets stuck with a power nobody wants. Status effect magic. Lame, right? Wrong. Toka discovers his failure frame spells are actually bonkers strong, crippling foes in ways nobody expected. As he unlocks the true potential of these weird spells, Toka becomes ridiculously powerful, surpassing even the top heroes.
Paralyze.
But this insane power comes at a cost. Feeling isolated and misunderstood, Toka's frustration explodes. The once overlooked kid turns into a force of destruction, annihilating everything in his path. Number 4, the strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human. War drums thunder across the land, humans and demons locked in an age-old struggle. In the heart of the demon army, a young prodigy named Ike rises through the ranks. With a flick of his wrist, he unleashes devastating spells, earning the awe and fear of his comrades, and the utter confusion of his enemies. Here's the mind-blowing truth: Ike isn't a demon at all, but a human living a double life. Burdened by this secret, Ike walks a tightrope. By day, he commands the demon army's most elite squad, his loyalty unquestioned. By night, he wrestles with his conscience, yearning for a way to bridge the chasm between the warring races. He dreams of a world where humans and demons can coexist. Not just coexist, but maybe even chill? Number 3, a journey through another world, raising kids while adventuring. Killing monsters and getting stronger is old news. This isekai is all about parenthood. You are Takumi, an ordinary guy who gets whisked away to this and lost and alone. Well, not quite. You stumble upon 2 adorable twins, Alan and Elena. Turns out these cuties are no ordinary kids, they're total powerhouses. Despite the danger lurking in this new world, you can't abandon them. So Takumi dons a hat, or maybe a bib of a guardian, raising these strong-willed twins while navigating the thrills and spills of adventuring.
Wind arrow!
Think about it for a bit. Alan and Elena taking down foes with their bare hands, while you frantically pack snacks and dodge stray claws. Number 2, no longer allowed in another world. What is Isekai Heaven? Isn't it just cute girls, crazy powers, and a whole new world to explore? It's a dream for many, just not one for Osamu Dazai, a super depressed author who'd rather just, kick the bucket. No video games for this guy. He gets yanked to another world straight out of 1948. All this fantasy stuff just gets in the way of his ultimate goal, finding the perfect spot to off his life. Well, you get it. But no matter how hard he tries to off himself in this wacky world, fate keeps throwing him a life preserver. Every attempt at a poetic demise backfires spectacularly, leaving him more alive and annoyed than ever. He's just a super emo dude who can't seem to lose, even when he's actively trying to. It's a story that's equal parts existential crisis and laugh out loud moments. Number 1, Suicide Squad Isekai. You're Harley Quinn, chilling with your buddy, causing mayhem as usual. Then Amanda Waller decided to drink the crazy pill and yoinks you to a fantasy world with your fellow baddies, Deadshot, Peacemaker, Clayface, and even King Shark. With Walker's voice just a faint echo in their heads, the squad's gotta figure out this crazy new place. Harley, being Harley, embraces the chaos and whacks everything with her giant mallet. Deadshot, surprisingly, is a crack shot with the bow and arrow. Even King Shark's found a whole new selection of snacks wandering around. But between the monster battles and the magic spells, there's one big question: how do they get back home? Their isekai adventure takes them on a wild ride, meeting wacky heroes, teaming up with some unlikely folks, and facing off against some seriously messed up creatures. Think of it like Gotham's bad guys on a fantasy quest, but way more epic and way less likely to involve therapy sessions.